verse 7. I think it's somehow our minds work. We get thinking about things, we get doing things, and all of a sudden our brain tells us it won't be quite as bad as it was the last time, or I can still do this and it'll be all right, or things will be different this time. I don't know about y'all, but that's the way my brain works. Maybe I'm sick of it. It's just the way my brain does me. 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7. Y'all there?
Yes, sir.
Y'all glad to be here this morning?
Yes, sir.
Here. We're glad you got another opportunity to live this morning, because not everybody gets that opportunity, boy. Some people die right there, and God so chose to allow us to be here. And I for one, am grateful for that. I don't always remember that, but let me tell you what God does for me every morning. Every morning when I'm on my way to work, if the sun's shining and there's a few clouds, if you go right up here and you take a right and get on 85, and as soon as I go around that little curve to get on 85, I can see the sun and it's coming up through the clouds. And that God reminds me, it's just like that devotion you read this morning. I thought about it when I read it, because I read it at home. God allows me to see a sunrise every morning about the time I go to work. And if there's clouds there, it's pink and purple and this and that and all different kind of colors. And man can't make a color that pretty. There ain't no way. I don't care how long he tries. God gives me a glimpse of that glory every single morning, and that makes me grateful. Because I've not always cared about the sunrise, and I've not always cared about whether I lived or died. And I know y'all the same way I am. Sometimes it takes us a little longer to realize what God's done for us. But my little girl went to Bible school this past week, and she got a little bracelet that said, "Watch for God." And that struck home with me, because so many times we get so busy with this and that, that we don't watch for God in the little things. I don't watch for God. We expect some big miracle to take place, and they do take place, but all the time we expect some big miracle to take place when God's trying to speak to us right in front of our face, or me anyway. But I'll be so busy and not hearing for the noise if I ain't real careful in my head and in my life. Noise goes on in all our lives. When we get out of here, life shows up on life's turn, boy. Just don't let nobody see you and think it don't. And it's going to be all peace, love, and tie-dye, because it don't work like that. Life on life's terms is going to show up, and sometimes it's going to be hard. And sometimes it's going to hit you right in the face, and sometimes you just got to want to stay clean. Worse, you want to get high. It's just some days it just boils down to that. But the more I'm in this thing, the longer it's about a living issue, and it's about what's inside of me instead of about a using issue. Because drugs is just a symptom of what I got. Does that make any sense to y'all?
Sir.
It didn't make no sense to me. I first heard it, man, all I could do was think about not using. But once I got clear of that, once I got past that a little bit, it's about what's inside of me. If I don't do some things to straighten up what's on the inside of me, I'm doomed to go back to repeating. Because if I don't deal with the heart issue and what's inside of me and the way I live, then I'm doomed to fail every single time. I've got to deal with what's on the inside of me. All right. There's three things Paul shows us right here in this passage that I feel like help. I know they help me. Maybe they help you. In verse 7, he says, "And lest I be exalted above measure by the abundance of revelation." Paul said, so I don't think no more of myself than what I ought to think. Because here's what we do. We get a little bit clean, we get a little bit feeling good, we get our bellies a little bit full, and we get a little bit of sleep, and then all of a sudden, we're really doing something. It's not us that does it. In 1 Corinthians 15:10, Paul says, "But by the grace of God I am what I am, and not I, but the grace of God which is in me." That's saying to me that I've got to find some level of humility, or it's going to be hard for me to stay clean. I can't think that I'm doing this. My best thinking got me right here twice, because I don't know what's best for me. I have no idea what's best for me. The best thing I can do is get out of the way and let God do His work and just follow Him instead of trying to follow the way I want to go. Because if I follow the way I want to go, then like I said a while ago, I'm doomed to fail. I got a good track record. It didn't take me but 39 years to figure that out, boy. I'm hard-headed. I know. It took me a long time to figure out that I don't know what's best for my life. So the best thing I can do is get out of the way and let God do it. Because, see, God's sovereign will is going to be done whether I want to be a part of it or not. I can either go along with God and be reasonably happy and have joy, or I can fight it and be miserable like I've done the first half of my life. And I can't let the second half of my life, the first half of my life, determine what the second half of my life is going to turn out to be. Because if I do, then I'll never see what God's got in store for me or my family. Or for y'all, or to be able to come over here. Because I can't let that stuff hold me back. I've got to remember where I came from. And believe you me, God allows circumstances to come into our lives that'll make us humble if we don't want to get humble. Right. Because if you don't want to find something, God will allow something, He'll get you something. You can bet on that. Yes, I know for a fact, from speaking from experience. Because He'll allow something to come in our life for us to remain humble. But we got to come to the point that we realize that nothing worth doing, nothing we do in this life is worth doing without the power and the presence of Jesus in our lives. Because He's the only one that's able to do. He's the only one that's able to do through me what I can't do for myself. Paul said, yeah, a thorn in the flesh was given to me. You know, people debated that for years. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I think it's left blank so we can insert whatever. Because here's the thing, boys. We all got that thing. That thing that keeps us balanced. That thing that keeps us brought down to where we're supposed to be. That thing that'll keep us from being highly exalted, or keep us from being thinking too much of ourselves. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That thing. There's still things that I struggle with to this day. To this day, and I guess I'll always struggle with them. And the thing is that's God's way of letting me know you still ain't got this thing. You still ain't got this thing. You know, the other week I had something happen to me, and when I walked in the store, I walked out of the store, and I thought to myself, really? Really? Is it always going to be like this? God said, my grace is sufficient. My grace is sufficient. Now, whether I partake in the temptation or whether I don't, it's totally on me. It ain't got nothing to do with God. That's right. But here's the thing. Just because that temptation's there, the Bible says there ain't no temptation taken you to such as is common to man. But God is faithful, who will not tempt you above what you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape. And my way to escape was to get in my truck and leave. That was my way to escape. My way not to escape was sit there and hang around and not do nothing about it. That wasn't my way of escape. My way of escape ain't to drive by the liquor store 14 times and say, God, you want me to stop or not? Y'all understand? I'm just being honest. It ain't to go by the dope man's house and say, let me stop and see if I can help them out. Let me stop and see if I can pull them out of it. If somebody tells you it's your job to go to the dope man's house and save somebody, you better get away from it. Because that's a lie. Right out of hell. It just don't work. It don't work, boys. But we all got that thing that keeps us balanced. All of us. Everybody struggles with something. I don't care who you are, or where you are, or where you come from. Everybody has their own little thing. But that thing keeps me balanced. That thing keeps me balanced. Second thing Paul done. Anyway, a messenger of Satan to buffet me. To buffet me. You know what that means? That word means beat. And I think that when Paul uses that word right there, he means that it literally tormented him. Every time he'd go to stand up, Satan would knock him down. Or every time he'd say, well, I got this thing, I'm really doing this for the Lord, Satan would throw something in there and hit him in the gut with it, or hit him in the eye with it, or hit him in the face with it. And Paul said, man. And finally he says, concerning this thing, the second thing he done, after he got humbled, he prayed about it. He said, concerning this thing, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it might depart from me. And I don't think that this is one of them going through the motion prayer. I don't think that this is, God, please take this away from me. I think this is standing out in your front yard, holding a Bible in one hand and looking up to God, and with all hell raining down on you and all the chaos breaking loose in your life, saying, God, why can't you take this away from me? Please take this away from me. Please take this away from me. Do you know how much better, how much more effective my ministry would be? Or how much better I could help people? Or how much I could do this? Or how much I could do that? If you would just take this thing away from me. If you would just take it away from me. Paul begged God. And this is Paul, y'all. Yeah. This is Paul. The man who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. The same Paul that persecuted Christians, that God knocked him off his horse and said, hey, why are you persecuting me? This is the same one that had direct connection with God. And Paul pleaded with the Lord, it said. He pleaded with him. Paul says we're to pray without ceasing. But guess what God told him? No. Basically, in verse 9, he said to me, no. He said, my grace is sufficient, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. See, the areas that I know that I'm weak, that's where God's strength is made perfect. The areas that I know that I can't overcome by myself, that's where God's light can shine through. Because see, that's one thing I love about one thing coming through here and about being clean today is I can be transparent as I want to be. I ain't got no skeletons in my closet. Everybody knows my business, and that's all right. Because I'm transparent today. I don't want none. Because I'm as sick as my secret. Y'all believe that or not? If I got something I'm hanging on to, then I've got a reservation in my mind, in my heart, and in my life. That might be hard preaching, but that's just the way it is. Hey, some of that stuff I got to get rid of. Y'all understand? I had to come to the realization on a few things. So, but anyway, God told Paul no. No. If he'll tell Paul no, guess what?
Yeah.
He'll tell you no. He'll tell you no. Third thing he done, and I don't understand how he done this, except through the power and the presence of the Holy Spirit in his life.
Right.
Third thing he done is he practiced acceptance. He practiced acceptance because he said unto me, my greatest fisherman, therefore, most gladly. How do you do that? How do you go from pleading with God, saying, God, if you'll just give me my family back, if you'll just do this, Lord, if you'll just give me my job back, if you'll just do this, I'll be a more effective witness for you. If you'll just do this, I'll be a better Christian for you. And he says no, and then all of a sudden Paul says, most gladly. Most gladly. That's ultimate acceptance right there. That's ultimate acceptance. And the thing about it is, if I want any serenity in my life, then I better practice some acceptance. That don't mean I gotta like it, but I gotta accept it. It don't say that Paul liked it, but he did say most gladly. Most gladly. I don't understand how it flips that quick, but it does. I would rather boast in my infirmities that the power of Christ may rest upon me. And that's one thing about being transparent, boys. I can come in here and tell you today that I struggle with certain things. I don't got it all together. I promise you that. Don't think for a minute I do. Because I promise you, I am one bad decision away from being right back where I was, if not worse. So most gladly, I'd rather boast in my weaknesses, my infirmities, telling you that I ain't got it all together, because that's when the power of Christ rests on our lives. That's when the power of the Holy Spirit comes in and says, hey, I got this. You don't have to worry about it. But I've got to practice some acceptance. There's things goes on in my life today that I don't like. You know, and there's things that's going to go on in your life that you ain't going to like. But you ain't got to like them to accept them. Just like when I was here the last time. Tracy Ward told me, hey, you don't have to like the rules, but you just got to go by them. Period. I mean, you know, that's the end of that discussion. I mean, there ain't no razor wire around this place. This ain't prison. We have the opportunity to leave anytime we want to. It's process. It's process. Acceptance to me is process. You know, it's just like anything else. You know, just like climbing up a ladder. It's one step at a time. You know, you don't start on the ground and end up at the top. You got to hit each rung. You got to hit each rung, but you got to hit some to get to the top. You got to hit some to get to the top. It's a process. It don't happen overnight. You know, we've lived the other way for a long time, boys. A long time. And that's what comes natural to us. Yes, when we accept Jesus as our Savior, we are saved as Apostle Paul that's writing this book right here. As saved as Him, and God don't love Him no more than He loves us. God don't love us no more than He loves Him. That's right. But it's still a process. Because Paul says over in Philippians, I think it's 4:11, Paul said, I have learned, whatever state I'm in, therewith to be content. That's acceptance right there. That's got acceptance wrote all over it. And until I learn to accept some things in my life and learn to accept people for being who they are and what they are, being, I think one of the books says it, being exactly the way it's supposed to be in God's world, I find no peace. And it also says that my level of acceptance is directly proportional to my level of serenity. That's right. I'm not going to have no serenity until I accept person, place, and things for it being exactly the way they're supposed to be in God's world at this moment. Everybody's got to be something, boys. That's one thing that helped me when I was in here. That keeps me from having to worry about you. You know, I got enough to worry about. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job worried about Keith. Other than have to worry about whether you work in your program, or whether you work in your program, or whether you work in yours, because it ain't really none of my business. I've got to get this for me. Because if I don't get this for me, and I don't do this for me, then guess what? Y'all ain't gonna matter for long. It's just that simple. That's one reason I tell y'all that I love y'all when I get up here. Because I tell y'all that for y'all, but I also tell y'all that for me. Because there was a time, ain't been that long ago, when I didn't love nobody. I didn't love me, much less love y'all. But that acceptance, whatever God says is good enough for me. I don't mean it always feels easy, but it is good enough for me. If He said it, I believe it, I'm going to live by it. That don't mean I don't want to fight it. That don't mean I don't struggle with it. That don't mean I say God really is this how it's supposed to be. That don't mean that everything's peace, love, and tight, because it just don't work like that. I wish it did. I wish every day was just happy and I stayed on a pink cloud all the time, but I just don't. I just don't. I had a struggle in my life about 3 weeks ago, and I even called Mama and talked to her about it. Because there was about 3 days stretch there. I couldn't tell you what was wrong, don't know what was wrong, don't know if I was doing anything wrong, don't know if I wasn't doing something right. But there was about 3 days there that I was just ready to quit. Not going to get high, just ready to quit. I was just ready to throw up my hand and say, because I felt like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? Couldn't figure out why I was in the hole, couldn't figure out what was going on in my heart, couldn't figure out what was going on, didn't know. So you know what? I walked through it. Me and God walked through it. When I prayed, it felt like my prayer wasn't getting past the ceiling. But we walked through it. Still don't know what the purpose was. But I was ready to quit. Called Mama. She called me back about 10 minutes later. She said, here, this is the devotion I read this morning. I want you to listen to it. She said it was exactly what we was talking about first thing this morning. And she read it back to me. It was amazing. We come out of Jesus' call, that's the thing. But some things we just don't know, boys, but I've got to accept it. You know, I don't know why I was going to do that, but I had to accept it. Yes, sir. Maybe grateful when I come out of it, though. You bet on that, because I don't like feeling like that. I don't like feeling like that, because I know y'all know how that miserable feeling is, and I don't like it. I don't like it. But God brought me out of it. He'll bring you out of it. Only acceptance, it's not a process, is accepting Jesus as your Savior. That's the only acceptance that's all about. Instant, just like that. And if you ain't done that before, I strongly suggest you do that. The Bible says today is the day of salvation. The Holy Spirit's the one that does the drawing. It ain't me, it ain't nobody else. But the Holy Spirit is the one that says, hey, this is the time. This is the time you need to be saved. This is the time you need to turn it all over to me. Because I promise you this much, God ain't no respecter of person. If He'll do it for anybody else in this room, if He'll do it for Paul, He'll do it for you. He'll do it for you. And it's just like anything else, boys. We all, our mind, the way our brains work, I've seen, is we want 20 years clean without having to put no work into it. I'm just going to tell you this because I love you this morning. It don't work like that. That's right. We've got to put some effort into it. You know, I'm going to get out of this thing what I put into it. And I know y'all have heard that and y'all probably sick of it. But that's just the way it is. If I don't put nothing in it, I ain't going to get nothing out of it. And I've got to take it one day at a time. I can't expect to have 20 years clean in just a few years. It just don't work. You know, one of my sponsees called me last night and had a question for me. I said, I don't know, but I'll call my sponsor because I'm sure he knows. You know, because he's got a lot more clean time than I do. He's seen a lot more things than I do. It's a process. I want you to get that this morning. It's a process. It's a one day at a time thing that don't happen overnight. We lived that way a long time. It just ain't gonna change overnight, boys. It just ain't. If a man stand up here and tell you that when you get saved or when you get clean, that you ain't never gonna have another thought of using, that's wrong. Because they're gonna come. Don't beat yourself up. I mean, there's nothing no more natural in this world than for a drug addict to think about using. That's all we've ever done. Them thoughts are gonna come. But I have to accept that and walk through them things and come out on the other side of them things and know that Jesus has got my best interest at heart. Yes, sir. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all with me this morning?
Yes, sir.
I didn't put you to sleep too bad. I love you this morning, boys. About Monday, y'all gonna be saying, man, I was that church. Because we're gonna, tomorrow we're going down yonder, and Monday they said they'd let me come back over here again Monday morning, so.
That's right. That's right.
That Monday they gonna say, cool, tired of that boy. I love y'all. Kevin, you gonna pray for me?
Yes, sir. Our Lord, we just come to you humbly. Just thank you for waking us up one more day. Just thank you for keeping Blanton, for bringing us the word. Just thank you for the opportunity to get out of self and to get into your will. Just help us to be better people today. Just help us to love one another, lift each other up, and not tear each other down. And just help guide our thoughts and our hearts throughout the day. Just ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.